So the title of this video is what I miss most about drinking alcohol. I think it's definitely worth mentioning that I'm going to be speaking on this from the perspective of someone who is an alcoholic and who's been sober for a year and a half, and I have my reasons. Now, I also want you to know that if you happen to be a drinker, whether it's casually, whether you drink pretty heavily, I don't judge you and I don't care. My life experience has led me to this choice, to get sober. And I've never really talked about the whole topic of missing alcohol. I never thought it was particularly useful to go that direction. Forward and onward, as they say. The past is the past, and I don't wish to forget it, but I certainly can't change it. So I try not to romanticize or fantasize about yesteryear before I got sober. But all you need to know is that I love alcohol, and I've loved it since I was 13, and I loved it to the bitter end, and I almost lost my life to it. But I'm sober today, and I'm really, really grateful. But that doesn't mean I don't occasionally crave alcohol. It doesn't mean I don't occasionally miss it, or at least miss this idea of it. I don't know what exactly it is about the holiday season here in the States. I think there's this idea that everybody's just getting fucked up all the time. I think there's this idea that everyone is partying and celebrating, and we create these ideas in our head and we amplify them. And sometimes it can make you wish certain things weren't the way they were. I don't believe in regretting things that are. Like, I know I'm an alcoholic. I don't regret being one. I'm really glad that I've identified that I am one. It allows me to do something about it, maybe make some use of it. Because a sober alcoholic with direction can do some pretty good things. A sober alcoholic with no direction is miserable, and an active alcoholic is mostly miserable, except for when he's escaping, you know? And that's what drinking was for me. And that sort of leads me to my answer. Since I've just been, if this is a bush, that's me beating around a bush. What I miss most about drinking is the quiet that it gave my brain. I'm an anxious type, I'm a depressive type, and I'm an obsessive type. I'm in my head all the time. I go crazy up there still. It's something I battle with to this day. These last couple weeks have been particularly obsessive. Now, I might make another video explaining what I've been obsessing about, but one thing I remember about drinking, for better or worse, despite all the destruction that it created in my life, physically, mentally, spiritually, if you believe in that sort of thing, it did quiet down the noise. It quieted down all the spinning, obsessive, racing thoughts. If I've got like a million things that are currently repeating in my head, just doing loops, spinning, thinking, obsessing, no answer that seems to satisfy the question, anxiety, depression, no, make it stop. If I have that, what I remember about drinking was that it didn't take them all away, but it pulled out most of them. It made it so I could probably only focus on one or two things. I escaped. You know, I think the older I got, the longer I drank, it became less about having fun. It became less about like this elated feeling and more about this proverbial physical and metaphorical break that I would get from that drinking. And now I have the opportunity to learn how to get that sort of break naturally. That is my plight in life, and I should be so lucky that I'm in a situation that's what I get to try to do, because I didn't handle it well before, and it stopped being fun. And so I don't want anyone to think for 1 second that I think it would be a good idea for me to deal with this sort of crazy, this suicidally geared, anxious, obsessive, depressive mind, to go solve it with a depressant. That's not for me anymore. I'm not about that life anymore. But I do miss the idea of that. I'd be a liar if I said I didn't. I don't miss the consequences. I don't miss the rebound depression and anxiety. I don't miss the hopelessness. I don't miss everything else that went wrong when I introduced alcohol into my body. For me personally, I don't miss that. The little bit of joy that I got in the midst was never worth the chaos in between. And so I play that tape through. And now the job remains. How do I solve this obsessive problem? Now it's through exercise, diet, support systems, meditation, which is really fucking hard. I need to do another video about how much I struggle with basic meditative principles. You know, seeing a thought, letting it go, mindfulness stuff, rough. But I'm trying. But I really, really love when I harness that obsessive, anxious pattern in my brain. When I harness it naturally, it's so empowering. It feels so fucking good. So much more real than that artificial relief I used to get, which was getting shorter and shorter, by the way. I hope everyone is well. Old-fashioned thumbs up. I hope for anyone that struggles with alcohol or drugs, I hope you have the compassion for yourself to ask for help. It's not a sign of weakness. It's actually the most incredibly strong thing you can do. And if you struggle with mood, same goes for you guys. Please share your experiences in the comment section below. If you're a sober alcoholic, do you feel me on this? Is that something that you relate to? The whole needing to shut down the fucking crazy in your head, but knowing you have to do it differently? Or is that not your experience? And if you're sober and you don't drink at all, or if you drink all the time, I still want to hear your perspective. That's like more than half of what makes this amazing to me. See you guys in the next video. I appreciate you. Peace.